Howdy, 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 howdy. Dead and lovely listeners. It's your best friends in all the podcasting land. I'm your good old Uncle Ben, and who is that man I got on the other end of the Skype line here?
It's Hollywood Steve Spratling.
Hollywood Steve. How you doing out there on that West Coast there, Steve?
I'm doing great, especially with our new, and I hope it sticks, howdy, 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 howdy.
I mean, that's just a great introduction. Who doesn't want to hear that?
Yeah. I mean, listen, if you're walking down the street and you saw, like, I don't know, somebody who's maybe real gross and, like, scary looking, and as they're approaching you, you're like, oh, no, I hope they don't talk to me. But then they said, howdy, 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 howdy. You'd be like, okay, this is cool. This is cool.
I'd be at ease.
I misjudged this guy.
I'd be fine with that, I think. So what's life been like out on that West Coast for you this week, man?
Weather is crazy. You know, like, sometimes out here it gets so wild. One day it's like 86 degrees. One day it's like 79. Ugh.
Oh,
you know?
It really sucks for you out there.
Yeah. Oh, and some days there are clouds. And
No.
yeah, it's rough. Other than that, though, been doing great. Having a good time with the wife. We've recently been watching Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt.
Fuck yeah, same deal over here. We've been watching that shit, and it's fucking fantastic.
Yeah, it's great. Been just like, I think we're 5 episodes in, maybe, or 6.
Yeah, I think that we're 4 or 5 in. The last one that we just watched is where Kimmy goes to like that college party.
Yeah, that was so funny.
Fuck, that was like one of the funniest episodes they've done yet.
Yeah, it's a great one.
I'm really digging this season, man. Kind of like, I feel like with the first season of the show, it was really good, and then like the last maybe 2 or 3 episodes, they really let it off the chain, and it just got really fucking weird and ridiculous. And then the whole second season, they just kind of rode that wave. And I was kind of worried with the third season, because like the preview for the third season made it look like it was kind of normal. I was really kind of worried they were gonna like pare it down a little bit, but no, this has been fucking hilarious.
No, they
off
went
the chain,
just full on with it. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. I'm definitely digging it.
You know, I was noticing something today, Ben.
What's that?
You know, a lot of people will watch shows, say certain CBS sitcoms like Big Bang Theory or something, because they say like they get home from work, they just want to turn their brain off. Now I have trouble watching shows like that and turning my brain off because I have this sort of hypercritical mode I go into where I can't not notice everything that annoys me about it.
Hashtag crazy brain.
Hashtag crazy brain. But I do find that YouTube videos really help me to just like veg out.
That's a good decompress.
Yeah, and of course, you know, I like traditional things. I like the BuzzFeed videos. They're real fun. They're short.
I like them Try Guys.
Too
I'm
much.
a fan.
Try Guys, yeah, we love Keith.
I was gonna say Keith is definitely the best fucking Try Guy, obviously.
Yeah. Shout out to Keith. Anyway, but I like some weird things I've noticed. I have 3 things that I go to often on YouTube that I want to recommend to anybody out there who just really wants to turn their brain off.
Tell me about it.
The first one is marble races.
Marble races?
Look this up. Marble races. Basically what it is someone will build a little sand track, downhill sand track, and race, you know, 8 to 32 marbles at a time. And it is so insanely entertaining and also like tense, strangely. Like you start to root for certain marbles for some reason. It's really interesting. Yeah, highly recommend looking up marble races.
Damn.
Number 2, there is a YouTube channel called Primitive Technology.
Okay.
Where there's this guy who he builds huts and builds like primitive tools, and he does like everything like from the most basic element to like, finding a rock to hit another rock with, and like he shows you the whole process of like building these primitive tools, and he never says a word the entire time.
So it's just dead silence.
Well, there's no silence because he's out in nature, so it's like all these nature sounds, and it's like
no talking.
No talking, and it's so relaxing. It's
How
the
many
most
subs
relaxing
does that guy
stuff.
have?
Oh, so many. The guy, he's like, I mean, as far as like YouTubers working their asses off to get their views, he's working his ass off because this dude is like making fire with sticks and stuff to get views. But it's so like relaxing and entertaining. And number 3, and this probably won't help everybody, but this is my number 1 go-to if I'm on YouTube and just want to just turn something on and forget about it. Videos about the video game Skyrim.
Really?
Yep. I watch Top 5 Skyrim Mods of the Week, which is a show that was on for a while on GameSpot. I watch... There are a few like Skyrim builds videos that I really like where they just show like different ways of building specific types of characters. I will sit for 30 minutes and watch someone drone on about like the way that they decided to make their character's face and just not think at all the entire time.
You know what though? It's one of those things that I want to be like, wow, I cannot relate to that, but I can relate to that. I catch myself watching stuff like that all the time where like, one of my go-tos as far as just like totally mind-numbing, relaxing, just decompress kind of stuff. I love going on and watching people do like playthroughs of video games that I used to play.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's so fun.
So like going watching somebody like whip ass on like Castlevania or like Ninja Gaiden or something like that. Oh man, I'm totally all about that, dude. Especially if you can hear the audio and you get the soundtrack and stuff on there. That's just a good relaxing time.
I also like speed runs. Speed runs are fun.
All that stuff is fun. Sometimes that can be stressful because the guys will be pulling near-death maneuvers and shit.
Yes. Yeah. And they're trying to shave off like milliseconds, so like everything counts. Yeah. That can be real stressful.
There's this guy's movie reviews that I watch too. His name's like Deckard Shadow.
Oh, I haven't heard of him.
And it's like he does a lot of horror review things on YouTube. And honestly, it's like, I don't really like him that much, but I just watch the fuck out of him. Because, like, the guy, he's kind of like, he kind of tries a little bit hard, of course, says this is why you suck at guitar guy. But, but I still end up watching the fuck out of him. I don't know. It's just like a good, relaxing watch. And he's got, like, all kinds of clips in the movies and stuff. And I don't know. I end up falling into pits of stuff like that all the time, too.
Yeah, this is to me like sitting in front of a TV and watching a sitcom that's just rehashing old like jokes and doing the same like sexist and racist shit like over and over. Like I just can't do it, but I can sit and watch the minutia of a Fallout 3 video for fucking hours on end and never even think like I'm wasting my time.
I know what you mean. It's kind of crazy where you feel your brain literally going numb as you watch the stuff, but you're just so into it that it's fine.
Yeah. I don't know why I brought that up. I just thought about that earlier today.
That's an important part of living life, man.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you one more thing too before we start getting into the actual point of this podcast. So my buddy Eric Hill, who lives out in California, around your neck of the woods there. Yeah. He has a recording studio called Blue Room Recording Studios. He's been mastering some of my tracks of my original music and stuff that I've been sending him, and they've been sounding fucking great. But he is such a cool guy that one night we got to sitting around on Facebook Messenger, and we were talking about beers and stuff like this. And I was telling him how this is how not cool I am. I'm just now kind of getting into the IPA thing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
okay.
because I kind of reached
You're
this
behind.
point. I'm totally behind, dude. I kind of reached this point where I was sort of getting tired of just the same old, I typically drink a lot of like ales and lagers and Belgians and stuff like that. I think I was just reaching a point where I was just kind of tired of it. So I was like, okay, I need something different. Let's try some of these IPAs and stuff. And I started getting into those.
I love IPAs. We could talk about that for hours.
I am coming around to it in a big bad way. And I think initially it was one of those things where I think initially the attraction was, oh, it's something different. You know what I mean? It's something that my taste buds aren't just tired of. So I'm enjoying it. But then after you have a bunch of them, you start noticing the complexities and the interesting qualities that a lot of them have. Some of them are very dry. Some of them are very citrusy. And some of them are kind of bitter in a good way. And I'm really digging it. So he sent me, my buddy Eric there, he sent me a whole box of really fantastic locally produced IPAs over there from the West Coast.
Did he toss some Golden Road in there? Golden Road is one of my favorite breweries.
I don't have a Golden Road. I'll ask him about that, but I did have a Pliny the Elder in there.
Oh, great. Delicious.
I'm gonna tell you what, man. Like, he sent me a bunch of stuff. He sent me one is called what's called Vengeful Barbarian. I haven't had that one yet. He sent me a what. He sent me a Henhouse Illuminati. A ton of stuff, man, and they've been really blowing my mind. Like, really fucking fantastic. Awesome. I'll be real with you, man. And I'll send you some of the ones that he's been sending me. Actually, you know what? If you want to get a full list of all of them, you can just find it on my Instagram. You can find Benelli Guitars, or just look for the hashtag Ben Buys Beer, and you can see all of them that he sent me this week. But the Pliny, compared to some of these other ones that he sent me, is honestly a little underwhelming.
Yeah.
I had it tonight.
Okay.
I had it tonight, and it's like, it was really good. And from what I was talking to him about, it was kind of, Pliny was one of the first really, like, really good, like, high-end IPAs that kind of hit the market. So it's kind of more of a historic beer than it is this is still an unbelievable kind of product,
It's consistent. I mean,
it's very good. Yeah. It was very good. Don't get me wrong. It was very, very good. But man, some of these other ones that he sent me just blew my fucking mind. So yeah, be sure to check that hashtag Ben Buys Beer on Instagram, and you'll see what I'm talking about. But man, you guys on the West Coast really have this IPA thing fucking figured out. Yeah.
I used to live about a block away from a place in Highland Park called Galco's. Any Highland Park listeners probably just shat their pants, but Galco's is awesome. They sell sodas and beers, and that's all they have in this pretty large store, and they have pretty much anything you could ever imagine. Yeah, and we would go there and just grab new stuff and try it. It's really nice. I kind of wish that, like, there's also a place out here called Bevmo, which is also like all alcohol. It's wine, liquor, and beer, and so they have a pretty wide variety. But Galco's would even have like more stuff. I wish that sort of boutique beer store existed more like widely throughout the United States, where people could taste the different beers that are coming out of different areas of the country, because there are a lot of good breweries in the United States.
You're not kidding, man. And the really cool thing is, near where I'm at, I'm kind of near Knoxville, Tennessee. We're very near Asheville, North Carolina, which is a hugely growing brew capital of the fucking world, man. They got Wicked Weed and Highland and all.
Highland's great. I really love Highland.
And the cool thing is apparently Knoxville is growing tremendously. We've got a whole bunch of independent breweries and stuff growing around here, and a lot of people are kind of predicting it's going to be one of the next big, kind of beer cities of the East Coast, which is really, really wonderful. I've been over to like Crafty Bastard and a whole bunch of these other breweries and stuff. There's some good stuff coming up.
My brother-in-law is currently taking brewing classes at South College in Knoxville for a brewer's certification. So Knoxville is doing pretty good in the brewing game these days.
Coming up. Yeah, I had that Pliny the Elder earlier tonight, and then I also had I had a little bit of the tail end of that Knob Creek bottle that got me so fucked up on that Mouth of Madness episode. So I'm okay right now.
Yeah, I'm currently drinking a little Evan Williams.
Oh, which one?
Just the black label.
That's
I
my
really
go-to
enjoy it,
cheapo, man.
Yeah, I mean, people don't recognize that Evan Williams got a lot of delicious, like, cinnamony flavors. It's a spicy whiskey. People just sort of shoot cheap whiskey, and they forget, like, some of these whiskeys they've been around a long time. These distillers know what they're doing. So I highly recommend tasting your Evan Williams.
I would much rather have that over a Jim Beam or, I mean, honestly, probably even a Jack Danger.
Jack Daniels,
day of the week.
Yeah. I'm Jack Daniels has it's a little too piney for me, I think.
Yeah, it's got that sugary thing going on. I mean, a Jack and Coke, the Lemmy is still just a fucking classic. But
Jack and Coke's great. Yeah.
But an Evan Williams I will not turn my nose up at that any day of the week.
Also, George Dickel number 12. If you're buying cheap whiskeys, George Dickel number 12 is delicious.
I wouldn't turn my nose up at that, nor would I turn my clown nose up at that.
Yes!
Transition King 2017.
Hashtag Transition King.
Because this week, loyal, lovely listeners, we are talking about...
I honestly didn't know how we were going to pull that one out. You did.
I was waiting. I was just sitting on it. You didn't even know.
I didn't. Okay.
This week, we are going to be talking about Killer Klowns from Outer Space. Around what year was that released there, Bill Gates Jr.?
What was that?
Bill Gates Jr.? Could you have him check and see what year that was released?
Oh, God. I got to get this kid.
Our fucking intern here at the Dead and Lovely office. We pay this fucking kid. Right. I don't understand why.
Hey, is it... All right.
Bill.
Okay, he's mouthing to me the word what?
What the fuck do we pay him for?
Yeah. You know what? No, I can't let him go. I can't. He's too important to the podcast, Ben. He gets me whiskey.
Okay, he does, but I don't know exactly what the fuck he does for me, so.
1988. 1988.
So I was a mere 4 years old whenever this came out. Did you, when was the first time that you saw this movie, Steve?
The first time I saw this movie was on Showtime, I believe, in the year 1988.
Oh, damn. So you saw it when you was a youngin'.
Yeah, I remember watching this movie with my cousins and my sister in my grandparents' apartment when we were young ones. We actually watched it a number of times because back in those days, if you had HBO or Showtime or whatever, they just showed the same movies over and over and over.
Oh, God,
That's why I've seen Tom Hanks' classic Dragnet 50 to 60 times, I believe.
Dude, that's why as a kid growing up, I watched That Thing You Do in Mr. Holland's Opus and The Shadow.
Oh, yeah.
8 million fucking times is because that was on Stars 24/7.
Yeah. Yeah, and if it was like, you felt like if you're paying for these extra channels, you have to watch it. So, like, I've seen Arliss. I've seen all of Oz. Oz is a good show, but
I've heard.
Arliss, not great. I used to watch. I watched all of Mr. Show with Bob and David, which actually I would say was time well spent.
Very ahead of its time.
Very ahead of its time, and I still enjoy. I think everybody who was in that show is still in stuff that I watched and listened to today. So go back and watch that if you've never seen it.
Good on him. I watched this movie for the first time whenever we did our original podcast about it several months ago with the corrupted audio. P.S. Ben and Steve from the future representing.
Represent.
So we did an original episode about this months ago, and it was one that I had. My wife used to work at like a used CD and DVD store, and it's one of those ones that she brought back from the shop for like 50 cents or whatever. and I had it sitting on a shelf for years and years and years and years and years and years, and I never watched it. So whenever I watched it for the first time, or whenever I watched it for the first time, it was a couple of months ago when we did the original episode. And I think kind of going into it, I knew that it wasn't a straight scary movie. I think I knew that it was a horror comedy.
Yeah.
So I kind of sort of knew that going into it, but I still didn't really know anything about it. It's okay. It's okay. We'll talk about it more as we go along into the episode and stuff here. But before we start getting into our impressions about the movie, going along with the theme, I'd like to go through a little list that me and my man Steve here have compiled of other killer clowns of pop culture.
Now, I will again flout, like just like without any sort of compunction. I'm just gonna say over and over, I have a master's degree and I studied literature.
Whip it out.
Every time seriously, I've gotten to the point where every time I hear myself say something about my education, I just kind of want to vomit. Like, what? But I say
Dude,
that to explain.
Every time you say that phrase, $100 gets taken out of your privilege check.
Oh, damn it, man. Gosh, it would take a while because, hey, as we all know, those privilege checks, they keep us going.
Oh, they're fat. They're fat.
Yeah. But I say that just to explain why I mentioned this first killer clown. Edgar Allan Poe wrote a short story.
No, he
called.
didn't.
He did. He wrote a few. But he wrote one in particular called Hopfrog.
Is this about Pepe the Frog? Wait. Was Edgar Allan Poe Russian? Did he influence this whole election?
He did. Oh my God. Everything you're saying, it could actually kind of fit. Because when you talk about rigged elections, I don't know if you know this, Edgar Allan Poe, the way that he died, people think is part of a rigged election. Back in the day. Yeah, back in the day, in his time, sometimes in the 1840s, you'd be walking down the street on election day, and a gang of thugs would come along and start beating people up and taking them to different polls around the county to vote for whatever candidate.
They'd press gang the fuck out of you.
They would, and they would often drug them, and they drugged Edgar Allan Poe, who had a notoriously weak constitution.
Yeah,
and he died. That is one theory of his death.
Wow.
Though he was found on the side of the road, dead. So they're not fully sure what happened, but that's the prevailing theory.
That's
anyway,
amazing.
Yeah. Hopfrog. I'm spoiler alert for 140-year-old short story. Hopfrog is about described as a dwarf and cripple who is a jester to a king who is very cruel, and there is a female dwarf who's also one of the jesters, and Hopfrog has a crush on her, and the king mistreats her one time, and Hopfrog convinces the king and 7 of his friends for an upcoming ball to dress up as orangutans, and he covers them in pitch and puts a bunch of like grain and stuff on them to look like, orangutan fur, and then chains them up, and they think this is going to be like a gas. They're really like excited for this, and they like come in, they're all chained up, and everybody's like, oh no, are they like really beasts, etc. And Hopfrog connects their chain to a chain that you use to raise a chandelier. He raises them up and catches them on fire.
Holy shit.
Yeah, you don't fuck with Hopfrog.
He's metal as fuck.
Yeah, so he isn't in the sense of the painted clown, a killer clown, but he's a killer jester, a killer clown in some sense. And I think it's worth mentioning that this like concept of killer clowns has been around for a long time. So,
Really?
like,
Well, I mean,
yeah.
apparently, from what you're telling me here.
Yeah, the idea that, like, because, like, with clowns, with jesters, there was always the idea that the rich and royalty and stuff, they accepted that these people were allowed to sort of get away with making fun of them. It was a way of, like, we all get to laugh at each other, etc., and so it's fine. We're, the jesters and the clowns, they can do this. So, like, I guess that sort of idea of that permissiveness and their closeness to royalty and rich people leads people to think, well, they could, like, just kill them. Like, they could kill these people.
Right.
Yeah, and that of course comes from the fear that poor people want to kill rich people, and we do.
Uh-ohs. Well, I would the first thing that I thought of on my list of killer clowns would be a little clown by the name of Pennywise from Stephen King's It. Of course, the novel, which is adapted to a TV series, which is now being remade into a
film,
into a Hollywood film.
Hollywood, yeah.
How you feeling about
Hollywood.
that remake based on the trailers?
You know what? Here's confession mode for Steven. I have never seen the television series.
Dude, I haven't either.
Oh my god.
I was hoping at least one of us had.
No, that's so perfect. We should totally do that. We absolutely have to go back and do it now because neither one of us has seen it.
Apparently, man. I figured you'd seen that considering that you're kind of the horror buff of the two of us,
Yeah.
really.
Well, yeah, like I've read it.
Okay, that counts. That counts.
Yeah. Oh, it is. It's scary. I mean, I'm not scared of clowns. We talked about this the first time we recorded. Neither one of us has this fear of clowns.
Really. No.
And maybe it's because we didn't see it.
That's probably what it was, because it seems like most everybody in our age group that I know that is terrified of clowns, they saw it a little too young and they were just fucked up forever.
Yeah. I mean, I've never had that fear. I see that they're weird and they're creepy.
Yeah, painted on
like,
smiles and stuff. It's ingenuine.
Also, they're also just sad.
Yeah.
I kind of look at clowns a lot of times and think like, oh, that's sad.
Yeah. Did you see the trailers for the remake?
I have. And you know what? I don't know what to compare it to because I know that like people are like, oh, my childhood.
Sure.
Like it's not my childhood, so it's like, oh, it looks like it might be good.
Well, that's the thing is like I know some people that aren't totally about it, but I feel like, again, now that I realize that neither of us have ever seen the original, we're kind of in a unique place because we're actually viewing it very objectively.
Yeah.
I think it looks pretty sick. I think it looks pretty cool. Like, there's a few things in there. There's a few like jump scary kind of moments that may just be editing of the trailer. Maybe the movie itself isn't all jump scare heavy and stuff because I'm not really into that. But
well, I'm gonna go ahead and say that even though I haven't seen it, it was a TV movie on ABC. I'm gonna go ahead and guess it was full of jump scares. Like,
and I'm also gonna go ahead and say, just guessing. I'm just gonna go ahead and guess that the original It series probably wasn't that good outside of Tim Curry. I'm just guessing.
Probably not. Yeah.
This TV series,
we're probably pissing off so many people right now. So many people just sitting. They're sitting there clutching their It pillow, and they're just like, "No, you're wrong."
Their It body pillow that they married.
Oh no. They have a Pennywise waifu.
Waifu. I really like that moment in the trailer where like initially whenever the kids are, it shows all the kids and they're sitting around like a movie projector and the projector starts going crazy and going through the slides fast. I thought that was corny, but then the visual of it shows like Pennywise kind of like underneath the mom's hair or something, and the hair's like blown in the wind. That was pretty fucking sick.
Yeah, pretty cool.
I'm excited about it. I'll definitely see it when it comes out. What's your next on your list of things that hopefully at least one of us knows about?
Well, I guarantee we both know a good bit about this one. The Joker. You may have heard of him.
The Joker? El Joker?
Yeah. El Joker. Yeah.
You're talking about the enemy of the Batman.
Yeah, the serial killer that's been serial killing since 1940.
Oh, he's had a long run. He's had a good streak.
Yeah, he's been doing it a while.
I'm a big old Joker fan, so I'll give you a quick summary. I grew up as a Marvel zombie, totally a Marvel fan, so I never really read Batman stuff growing up. But my waifu is a huge Bat fan. She used to read a lot of the comics, and of course had seen all the movies and stuff whenever I met her. So she kind of got me into Batman sort of later on in my life. We actually have, like, our bathroom is actually a bat room. Like
I know.
It's the best. And I've since become a big old Batman fan. And I think the Joker is a really, really fascinating character. And I think the reason that the Joker works so well is because he is literally all of the opposites of why Batman works well. Whereas Batman is stoic and rational and logical, the Joker is completely not stoic. He's completely irrational and on the side of anarchy and chaos and stuff like this. It's like he is.
Batman wants order. He wants chaos.
Yeah, exactly. He is the yin to the yang.
It's a natural clash. Yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah.
I don't know how true this story is, but the story that's been passed down is that in Batman 1, when Joker appears, he was supposed to be killed off at the end of that issue, and he was saved by the editor, who saved one of the greatest villains of modern times. Like he's absolutely, like, without the Joker, we wouldn't have Suicide Squad, Ben.
Oh, damn it! Fuck.
Oh my God, your response just now was exactly the response that I give every time someone says Suicide Squad.
Oh, damn it. Fuck.
Yeah, just like, God damn it.
What a hot pile of fucking garbage that movie was.
Jesus Christ. Ben, I put off watching. I have to say that I, just like you, grew up as a Marvel zombie. I had my subscription to Iron Man that came every month. I fucking loved it.
That's the book that taught us how to be alcoholics.
Yeah, exactly. I read X-Men like crazy.
Yeah.
I was I remember when the 2099 universe came along. I was a big fan of Spider-Man 2099. I also had a subscription to that. I got that for my birthday one year.
Oh my
God,
excited. Dude.
Yeah.
2099. I totally have a bunch of those over here in the other room.
Yeah.
Man.
But I did read Batman, and I also until Batman versus Superman, I had seen from Tim Burton's Batman on, I had seen every one of those movies in the theater. And Batman versus Superman killed it for me. Like, I couldn't do it.
It's
like
a hot
everything,
pile of garbage.
Everything about it, I just couldn't go see it in the theater, and then I tried to watch it at home, and I just turned it off because it was like, no. Like, I sat through Batman and Robin. I sat through Batman Forever. I fucking cannot sit through Batman versus Superman. What is wrong with you people?
So many motherfucking problems. And it's like, I watched that movie, and there were moments that I really enjoyed, because there's several moments in there, you know, inevitably with Batman fighting Superman, that are just basically scenes from Frank Miller's Dark Knight, you know, live action. And to me, it was cool to see those things come to life on screen. But then the other 95% of the movie is just fucking hot horse shit. It's like, how can you not... Dude, like, DC failing to make a cool movie with Batman and Superman...
Yeah.
It's kind of like if a fucking imagine if like a porn director got to film a movie with, like, you know, like Heidi Klum and
all right, go ahead.
You know, I don't know. I'm struggling. I'm wrestling. Save me. Another attractive female. Fuck.
Well, okay, what if a porn director could direct a Tom Brady, Giselle Bundchen porn? There you go. There you go.
I was going girl on girl, but that's fine.
Oh, okay. So when you think of Batman versus Superman, your porn equivalent is girl on girl.
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome.
But it's like, imagine if you had that going on and you still managed to make it not hot. That's what DC did. It's like, you fucking idiots, dude. It should be so easy.
Yeah.
Just grease them up and let them razzle.
Can you imagine if that's what they did? Just Ben Affleck just greased up. Did you say your mom's name was Martha? Well, bring it on, brother.
It worked for the 300, dude. That movie made fucking billions.
Yeah, it did. Listen. I don't want to talk too much about Suicide Squad, but
but it does suck.
It fucking sucks. I do want to mention that I thought of not even mentioning the Joker because it was too basic and just going straight with Harley Quinn because I do absolutely love Harley Quinn. I've been with her since Bruce Timm introduced her to us in Batman the Animated Series, which is still one of the best.
Mark Hamill, still the best motherfucking Joker.
Yeah, absolutely. He's still that's the voice I hear in my head. I see Heath Ledger, I see the way he performed it. That's what I think of if I'm thinking of the Joker physically, but I hear Mark Hamill's voice.
Yeah, totally so, man. Yeah. Absolutely nailed it. So I'm with you, man. The Joker is the clown prince of crime, and all of his iterations. I mean, whether it's Jack Nicholson or Heath Ledger or Mark Hamill or anybody else, there's been some really cool portrayals of him through the ages, and I like seeing the many facets of how different people play him. I know that so many people have their Joker that they're just hanging on to, but I get excited anytime I get to see somebody else's take on the character, just to see a new facet. Same with Batman too. I mean, those are such black and white characters that it's fun to see what kind of black somebody chooses, what kind of white somebody chooses to play one of those characters.
Yeah. Speaking of what DC did with Suicide Squad and Batman vs. Superman, our next entrant is known for his line, "Shit the bed," Captain Spaulding.
Captain Spaulding from Rob Zombie's House of a Thousand Corpses and also The Devil's Rejects. It's such a... Okay. House of a Thousand Corpses, I'm not nuts about, but I think The Devil's Rejects is one of the finer horror movies of my lifetime. I think it's just a really badass fucking movie. I'd love to cover that on the show sometime.
Yeah, anyone who would contend, I think, I don't know, there's a weird critical reaction to Rob Zombie's movies I don't entirely get.
Mm-hmm.
The just presentation of pure disgusting violence
and white trash.
Well, that's the thing. The people responding to this, it's like that's so over the top and unreal. I grew up. My mom had a biker boyfriend who fought pit bulls. Now, listen, I don't support that. Dog fighting's not cool, but I grew up around that type of white trash.
No, that kind of white trash is very fucking real. Maybe if you haven't lived around it, you don't believe it, but it's really fucking real.
Yeah, so you critical responses to Devil's Rejects, it's like some people gave him, the exactly what he deserved, the praise he deserved for showing this sort of depravity and stuff, but these are real people. I've not known people like that exactly, but I've known people that show those same traits, and you can't, just because your experience is limited, you can't say that something is unreal.
I like the character of Captain Spaulding a lot because he really treads that fine line between being comical and likable and terrifying and menacing at the same time. Even those scenes in Devil's Rejects where he confronts that woman in the parking lot of that gas station. And he's laughing and cutting up with her, and then suddenly he just turns on a dime and he's like, "Did I stutter, bitch?" And it gets really fucking real. I don't know. He does such a great job portraying that character. Really, really fantastic. I love Devil's Rejects. I think it's a fucking cool movie.
I do too. I absolutely love it. I mean, it's it's hard to watch. If anybody is watching Devil's Rejects and thinks oh, this is all cool, this is all normal. Yeah, there's a problem there. That's that's exactly the point of the movie, is that there is a problem here. There are people out there like this, and there should be real and genuine fear in you that you might run into them.
I like that grimy old clown. Now, another grimy old clown that I spent hundreds of hours of my childhood with is our next entry on the list here, which is a little clown from a video game series called Twisted Metal called Sweet Tooth.
Yay!
I love, as I mentioned on previous episodes of the show, like kind of before I got into music, like video games were my life. So
yeah,
whenever I got my PlayStation and I got Twisted Metal, I played hours and hours and hours of that. And then whenever I got Twisted Metal 2, I played fucking thousands of hours of that, especially with the split screen competitive and deathmatch modes and stuff like that. My brother and I, or friends and I, would play through the whole game, in that split screen mode all the time. And Sweet Tooth, for those of you who are unfamiliar with the Twisted Metal series, it's kind of a vehicular combat game where it's a very comic book kind of stylized sort of game where you choose like a character who has a very stylized car that matches his persona and has special attacks and stuff, and you basically just fight in these cool arenas and blow each other up, and the last man standing wins.
It's like the Mario Kart battle mode, but violent.
Yeah, exactly. And Sweet Tooth was a clown who drove an ice cream truck, and he was a demented psychopath killer.
Now, that ice cream truck is interesting to me, Ben. You know why?
Why's that?
Because it looks, in the first 2 games, almost exactly like the ice cream truck in Killer Klowns from Outer Space.
It totally does. And it's like, now that I've seen the movie, I completely see that.
Yeah. That Sweet Tooth is obviously, based off of other Killer Klowns, but his car is obviously straight out of Killer Klowns from Outer Space.
Absolutely so, man. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Which is a great transition to our feature presentation.
Murderous gestures capable of interplanetary travel. That's the British title I just came up with.
Oh, interesting. That sounds far more sophisticated.
It would be the same movie, but just with that title.
Absolutely so. And more crooked teeth.
Yeah, Pennywise type teeth.
Yeah, I can make that joke because I have very fucking crooked teeth.
I have some crooked teeth of my own.
Boom.
Let's see. So, Killer Klowns is the direction is attributed to Steven Chiodo, but I think any one of them would admit that they all 3 of the Chiodo brothers had a lot to do with making this movie.
Triple threat.
Yeah. Now, if you don't know the Chiodo brothers, highly recommend looking up. There's an interview with them and oh no. What's his name? Scott Ian from Anthrax.
Really?
Yeah, great interview on Nerdist. Scott Ian actually had a short-lived show on Nerdist where he interviewed special effects artists that highly recommend. It's fun.
Well, I guess after he interviewed like the Chiodo brothers and Greg Nicotero and Tom Savini, he was like, and I'm done.
Yeah, that's kind of it. I mean, the Chiodo brothers, they worked with Tim Burton from beginning with his 1982 animated short Vincent.
Oh wow!
It wasn't animated. It was like, yeah. They worked with him, and actually you can see either his influence on them or their influence on him. In this movie, at one point, there is a tunnel they walk through that looks almost exactly like a sandworm that appears in Beetlejuice in 1989. So
I remember that. Yeah, completely the same kind of style.
Yeah, they've worked on various different things together and separately. Things like Critters, Large Marge, and Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Oh my god!
Or not Pee-wee's Playhouse,
the
but
source
Pee-wee's
of my
Big Top Adventure.
nightmares.
Yeah. They did the Christmas Critters animations and Elf. Like the narwhal and the penguin, or not penguin, but they did that. That's a real cool like animation
Man,
sequence.
the Leon Redbone snowman is my fucking favorite because I goddamn love a Leon Redbone.
Yeah, who doesn't? Bad
Idiots.
people, that's who.
Fucking idiots and deaf people. Fuck.
They were also the puppeteers in Team America.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. They did all the marionette work in there, didn't they?
Yeah. Yeah, and if you do check out the Scotty and interview with the Chiodo brothers, they have a really great story about the pussies and dicks scene from Team America.
Oh shit.
Really funny. So
I gotta watch that. That's great.
yeah, I'll put up a link on our Twitter so you guys can find it pretty easily.
Pro move.
Yeah.
So this, very much like Pumpkinhead, is a movie that was written and, well, directed by special effects masters, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So this, and there's no real flaw in the special. This movie is special, like these great makeup and puppeteering effects that have an obvious eye and an obvious like voice, a very particular like the way that the big top spaceship is designed, and like the way that the clowns look.
And they're all the clowns are different.
eye.
Like there's not just one
Yeah.
clown style.
Yeah, there are, I think, basically 5 types that are mixed up with different clothing. Maybe a little bit more than 5, but like even when you see the 2 female clowns, one of them is the short clown with the weird shaped head, and one of them is the big fat clown.
Oh damn.
So like, yeah. So I think they just sort of use those 5 different heads on different colored and maybe different shaped bodies.
And just sort of made them up for different costumes and so on.
Yeah. Oh, this just reminded me real quick. You introduced me to Charles Clary.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
On Instagram. You didn't introduce him to me in real life. I've never met him, but he has some amazing horror art. But one of the things that he has is, well, actually, I think there are 2 of them that stormtrooper helmets that are painted to look like killer clowns.
Oh shit, I haven't seen that.
So fucking cool. Yeah, scroll down a little bit. I think it's in some of his older stuff, but it's so fucking cool.
So Charles Clary, I first came about his work by means of the Say You Love Satan podcast. Those guys on there are huge fans of his work and post his stuff all the time. So I came across his stuff through there, and he does a lot of really, really awesome work that you can buy and put in your home. He does a lot of stuff where he'll take like an old VHS box of like a classic horror flick, and it's impossible to describe. I really can't describe it, but I guess kind of the general term is paper art, where it's very hard to describe, man. It's almost like he stuffs the box full of different colors of paper, and then
he like layers paper and then cuts away and makes these really interesting like color and like it uses color and shadow and depth to really create some sick looking shit. It's cool.
It's really cool. Find him on Instagram.
Yeah.
We'll put up a link to that too on our page and stuff, so you can find his
absolutely.
Instagram. Here's another cool thing I learned about Charles recently too. I don't think I told you about this. I got to talking to him one night on Instagram on private messenger there. He's from motherfucking Morristown. We've probably met him.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, like he's a couple years older than me, so I think that he is your age. And he moved away in like 2014 or something like that, but it's like he used to go to the downtown all the time. He used to go to all
Holy shit.
Like he's seen my old bands play and shit like this. Like
what? That's
crazy.
crazy.
Yeah, like you've probably met him.
What if it turns out Charles Clary is just like an alternate personality of mine? I would love to find out that was true, because he's got a better artistic eye than I do for sure.
You could make some dough on that.
Yeah. Actually, and another, just one last thing about him. I noticed that like the movies that he chooses to do, we've done so many of them. Like,
who's stalking who here?
Yeah, like I think it might just be, you know, being from that area, you just kind of run into the same movies. They're like shown, you know,
that's
on
the thing is like, dude, I bet that he used to go to Video West and Movie Time Video and Movie Land and all this shit, same as we did. So
Video West was the best, by the way.
R.I.P. Buzz. R.I.P.
Yeah.
But that was totally my first experience of like seeing all these cool horror movie boxes that I was not allowed to rent and stuff. I would see those all the time at Video West and be like, these look sick.
Yeah. So this movie, The soundtrack is by early West Coast punk band The Dickies.
Oh yeah,
and
I love that intro song.
the intro song is great. But the intro song introduces my theory about this movie, because this movie has a lot of like issues, like a lot of like story issues.
Sure.
I believe that this movie exists in an alternate universe.
Okay.
And not in the sense that like every movie exists in an alternate universe, because like, you know, when a car explodes, there's not that much fire, etc. Like obviously those universes are different.
Okay.
But here's the thing. Things in this movie are so slightly tweaked and different, but like in ways that are like glaring. Like the fact that when people in this town see these killer clowns from outer space, no one freaks out.
Yo, I noticed there's one scene in the drugstore there where there's a Berenstein Bears book on the shelf, and it's spelled Stein, Berenstein, instead of our universe where it's spelled Berenstain.
But here's the first indication. In the song, as soon as the song starts, here are the lyrics. P.T. Barnum said it so long ago. There's one born every minute. That you know.
A sucker.
Okay. A sucker born every minute, not a fucking clown.
Okay.
There's not a clown born every minute. So, in this universe, P.T. Barnum said there's a clown born every minute.
Oh,
And
look out.
that is what begins our initiation into this other universe where all of the stuff that happens in this movie makes sense.
Kind of like the old prospector guy that finds the clown spaceship that lands out in the middle of the woods.
Okay. Absolutely. Here's an interesting point about that. No one ever mentions that old man.
No.
He's never found among the dead. The dog is never found.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. From our universe standpoint, I know what this is. Here's exactly what happened in this movie. There is a character named Joe Lombardo who is name-checked 4 times.
Okay. Yeah, they do. They keep mentioning Joe Lombardo.
Joe Lombardo. 4 times we hear the name Joe Lombardo. We see Joe Lombardo's dead face. Joe Lombardo.
In that cocoon, right?
Pepe Sylvia. Anyway, Joe Lombardo is mentioned, but we don't know who the fuck Joe Lombardo is. But what we do see is there is a scene that it makes no sense when it happens and doesn't really like fit in entirely. But there's a guy driving a car, and then one of the killer clowns pulls up alongside him on an invisible motorcycle.
Yeah.
The guy is a little freaked out, and then the clown like bumps him with the invisible motorcycle, trying to run him off the road. Mm-hmm. The guy says, "Come on, Joe, keep it together."
That's Joe Lombardo?
This is Joe Lombardo. But that scene happens in the middle of the movie.
What?
Yes. Okay. So, that's definitely Joe Lombardo. There's no goddamn way there's another character named Joe, and they just mentioned Joe Lombardo 4 times. So here's what I think.
Okay.
The movie started with the original opening, like the killer clowns, and showing the kids walking around and the cop being disgusted by, you know, all these damn college kids. And then the old man scene didn't that was thrown in later to make it a comedy. The Joe Lombardo scene would have been next. Him driving the car, and then that. But the thing is that there's nothing funny about that, so you've now had 2 scenes that have not established any sort of comedy in this movie.
Right.
Also, in that scene, there's the one instance of bad special effects. Like, when it zooms out and you see the clown on the invisible bike and the car, like, it's obvious that it's, like, puppets, and it just doesn't look right.
Yeah, it looks pretty shot.
Yeah, so I think they were like, well, we can't put this first because it doesn't look as good as everything else, and also it doesn't establish that this is a comedy. But they also were like, well, we can't throw it out because we don't have enough material for the movie to be feature length. So,
well, there you go.
They had to keep all the shit about Joe Lombardo, and they had to keep the Joe Lombardo dying in the middle of the movie. And they throw in this scene with the old man that is comical. It's like, there's something funny about it. That, honestly, if you because I've seen this movie so many times, from like being a child to now, seen it so many times. The only part that is actually kind of funny, aside from some of the stuff the clowns do, is this old man.
Yeah,
like,
he's got some good lines in there.
Yeah, otherwise this isn't a comedy horror. It's just a zany horror.
Well, and that's kind of the thing that I feel about this movie. Like, I'll be honest, I'm not exactly nuts about this movie. There's things about it that I like that are very, very charming and stuff, but I didn't really find it scary enough to be a horror comedy, nor did I find it like funny enough to be a horror comedy. Like, my idea of a horror comedy is like a trauma flick, like Toxic Crusader or something like that, where...
Or Tromeo and Juliet. Have you seen that?
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Tromeo and Juliet. Great, yeah.
And it's
Toxic Crusader, great.
Toxic Crusader, yeah. It's like, it's so over the top. Like, I feel like Killer Klowns is like 3/4 of the way over the top.
Yeah. Yeah, like it needed more Lloyd Kaufman insanity. Like it needed this. Like, I said this the first time we recorded, and I thought about it more, and I think this makes a lot of sense. This movie would have been one of those things that would have been called back in Stranger Things if, instead of this being a college town and 40-year-old college kids being our protagonists, there were kids.
Yeah.
If these were kids dealing with killer clowns and the killer clowns are killing the adults,
yeah,
then this is a fun movie, yeah. But it's not like instead, like they have like this scene where this is supposed to be a college town. The boardwalk stuff is shot at Santa Cruz Boardwalk, so it's sort of like UC Santa Cruz. More like a liberal Southern California sort of college, and one of the first things we see is college kids going up onto like a high place to go and make out.
Sure.
Like, you're college kids. Make out wherever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to go hide.
No.
Also, everybody in the cars is at least 40.
Oh, God, yeah. That's kind of, it's very 80s in that way, where it's like nobody's in fucking high school. Everybody is like fucking 40.
So, like, I think, like, if this, and there have been rumors that this movie might be remade, and there have been rumors of a sequel, like, because the Chiodo brothers say they have, like, ideas for a sequel.
Yeah.
They just haven't found, like, people have approached them about sequels, and they haven't found the right fit, and they don't feel like, because, like, you know, they're working in Hollywood, like, they don't necessarily need to make a sequel to Killer Klowns to make a living.
Sure.
So they're looking for the right time to ever actually do that. But if someone were to come along and remake this in the mold of, like, you know, a Goonies or a Silver Bullet, like any of those, like
Silver Bullet, fuck yeah.
Yeah, like, make it like that, and boom, suddenly you have a hit. You have, like, let's just go and we'll get 11 from Stranger Things to be our lead, and boom, like, now we've got a good Killer Klowns movie.
I mean, I feel like that's kind of what that It remake is going to be, because it looks like it's kind of set in the Stranger Things 80s kind of timeline.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's what we're getting. Of course, minus comedy, I assume.
Yeah.
Without a doubt, my favorite part of this flick is definitely those goth dudes that get thrown in jail.
Oh, man. That scene is interesting because, one, John Vernon is the guy who plays the hard-ass cop.
Yeah.
He also played the mayor in Dirty Harry, and he plays the bad guy in Ernest Goes to Camp. And
holy shit, that is totally him in Ernest Goes to Camp. Oh, my God.
And of course, his major role, I guess, was Dean Wormer in Animal House. Like,
sure, yeah.
So he's always playing a hard ass.
He's a hard ass guy.
And he's the only one in this movie, like, who he didn't care that this movie was Killer Klowns from Outer Space. He didn't care that he was talking to a man with a puppeteered clown face. he fucking went for it.
He was going
He's
deep.
like
He was going
acting
hard in the
his
paint.
ass off. Yeah, and he makes the only scene that is actually genuinely chilling in this, which is the puppet scene.
Yes, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, Puppet's
Yeah.
kind of using him like a marionette, and he's got like blood on his face and shit.
Yeah. But yeah, the two guys who he picked up, we were just out enjoying a bottle of wine. It's a nice evening.
It's a nice evening.
And they're dressed like new wave, like it's awesome.
And the one guy is like so old, like his hairline is like fucking back to the center of his head. He's got like an Elizabethan hairline.
Yeah.
It's like he's fucking old, and they just got busted for drinking a bottle of wine on a nice evening.
Yeah, that's got to be a California joke, right? Because I don't know. Like, I don't get that college students walking around drinking a bottle of wine together.
Yeah.
Like,
I love it.
yeah.
I love it. I think it's awesome. I love those dudes. I want a whole movie about those guys' story that led up to that night.
Absolutely. Yeah, it was really sad when they die, actually. I was like, well, why did they have to die?
Yeah, come on, guys.
I guess everybody basically dies in this movie, which is why this movie is really strange to me again, and must be in an alternate universe, because the entire town gets killed, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, there's all like
Yeah.
old people, young people, everybody kind of fucking gets killed.
Yeah, but it ends on like a joke.
Yeah.
Like, everybody's like, ha ha, entire town got killed.
Except for the fucking, damn it, what are they called? Terenzi brothers?
Fucking Terenzi brothers, god damn it.
They own the
Listen.
ice cream truck in town, right?
Yes, if anybody out there wants to remake the Dukes of Hazzard and make it the Terenzis of Crescent Cove, and I'll be Boss Hog, and be like, those goddamn Terenzi brothers. I hate the fucking Terenzi. Like, there's nothing funny about them.
No, they're fucking
Every
annoying.
goddamn second they're on the screen, I'm annoyed. And all the jokes that they that they're trying to pull off. Like, one of the jokes is like, we tricked a couple of bigger girls into the ice cream truck by offering them free ice cream.
Yeah.
Like, first off, those girls weren't that big. Second off, like, why would they have to get in the truck? Like, I just don't even and they're tricking people in. Like, I just
Dirty
fuck the
pool,
Terenzi
old man.
brothers.
Dirty pool.
But yeah, though there is one Terenzi Brothers line that I kind of do love, and that's when they first show up. They go up to Make Out Point or whatever it is, and they're trying to sell their ice cream, and everybody's like, "We don't want your fucking ice cream," and they're like, "You don't want our ice cream? Well, you can't have it." Like, I like that. That's good.
That's a good move. But those guys live kind of in the same fashion. This is something that's been on my mind recently, Steve. Can you
Okay.
just take a second here? And I really want you to, especially within the wake of the past year and all the great people that we've lost,
Right.
think about all the people that Axl Rose has outlived. What the fuck?
Oh God, I'm glad I had just swallowed that drink.
Like, of all the people to be at the
Goddamn.
top of the Deadpool.
What the hell? Seriously.
You know?
Like, I bet
God.
odds on Axl Rose, like in 1986,
It's 100 to
would have
nothing.
been like, yeah, it would have been like in 4 years max. He's dead.
Yeah.
Nope. Still around.
Yeah, exactly. Outlived fucking Merle Haggard. Outlived Prince.
Yeah.
Fucking Cornell.
I-
all these cats, dude.
Now listen, I'm not talking shit about Axl Rose because
I am.
I mean, yeah. I mean, as a person, I'm talking shit about him. As an artist, I do love me some Guns N' Roses.
Appetite, dude. It's the best. It's the best record.
Yeah, it's the best. But yeah, Axl Rose, how are you? Like, if you're listening, what's going on, buddy?
How are you doing that?
Are you taking the same thing that Charlie Sheen takes? Like, what is it that keeps you guys going?
I don't understand it, but whatever they're doing, that's what the Terenzi brothers are doing too. Because they even get blown up at the very end of the movie.
Yes,
In their own
These
ice cream truck.
motherfuckers-
And then they're like, yeah, we lived. It's fine.
These motherfuckers couldn't die if they tried. Now here's the thing about this movie that, like, like we've already talked about special effects, but I think particularly we need to talk about the aesthetic. Like, not only, like, these guys are good at special effects. That's something, you know, like Tom Savini is amazing at special effects.
Shit, yes.
Yeah, like there are a lot of people who are great at special effects, but these guys not only are great at special effects, but have this great artistic, like, view of what this movie was supposed to be. So, like, when they're in the spaceship, like, all of the levers and stuff are made of, like, toys and, like, squeezy things. Like, the lasers that they shoot are, like, weird. Like, one of them is like a spirograph that, like, you know, catches you in this, like, rubber ball.
And then there's like a popcorn gun.
Yeah, there's a popcorn gun, and the popcorn are like, they're like killer clown eggs that turn into, like, you know, I guess the larval stage of killer clowns.
That's creative and fun and doesn't really require a lot of explanation, but you still buy it whenever you see it. You're like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, so these guys, like, they're being real creative here, and I think that has to be praised. That despite the fact that maybe it would have paid to get like a real screenwriter to write this movie, they've got a lot going.
And
here.
I'll tell you, while you're on the subject of the merits of a lot of the visuals, one of my favorite things, especially while they're inside of the ship, so the inside, the ship from the exterior just looks like a circus, like big top tent. Mm-hmm. But whenever they go inside, especially towards the end of the movie, whenever they're kind of going in for the final battles and stuff like this, a lot of the sets I think are really, really interesting. And it really slips by you if you're not paying attention, because a lot of the sets, once they're inside, it's like they filmed it in an entirely black...
It's like a soundstage.
Yeah, empty soundstage, and then they just put up a couple of walls or a couple of platforms or something like this. It's really interesting, and all this use of negative space is cool. It makes the walls and other props that are like brightly colored really pop a lot, and it also too makes you feel like you're kind of like out of place geometrically and stuff, where like you have no idea what the proportions of the room are because it's just black. You don't even see walls. It's like,
and from the outside, it's just like a big top.
It's like a TARDIS where it's bigger on the inside. And you can't really make sense
on the
of
inside.
It. I really loved that feature about the movie where, again, especially towards the end, it's like every room seems to be huge and you can't quite tell the proportions, and they're very abstractly put together, almost more like sets of like a play, you know?
Yeah, it's like a black box theater type of thing.
Exactly. I think that kind of use of the negative space is really, really neat, and I like that a lot.
Yeah. Like, I mean, honestly, I cannot reiterate this enough. Like, if this movie had better screenwriting, this might be like, I mean, it's a cult classic, but this might be a classic horror movie because it's so creative, it's so interesting, and like you don't really, because you come into a movie called Killer Clowns from Outer Space already ready to accept weird shit. Like, nobody's walking into Killer Clowns from Outer Space and they're like, this is going to be serious.
Yeah, this is going to be
like,
sick.
You expect it to be weird. So, like, your audience is already going to accept whatever you do. And so, like, when, like, they're walking through those door frames that are, like, moving, even though the door frames, like, they're paper, I think, like it's pretty simple, everything's simple, and you can almost kind of see the strings on them. You don't question it, you don't care, because you've already accepted Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Yeah, you're like, so in this universe, there's kind of, nothing is really off limits. Exactly.
Yeah, so like this movie has a lot of value.
It's kind of funny because, like, even starting this, I was like, I didn't really like this much. But now as we're talking about it, I'm thinking about all this stuff about the movie that I thought was really cool and really neat.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff. But also the fact that our main characters, Mike and Debbie, and then, what's the cop's name? the cop that's with them.
Ooh.
Do you remember?
No, I don't remember. I somehow lost my notes for this one, so I don't know where they're at. My dog ate my homework.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. Mike
Get
and
Bill
Debbie
Gates Jr. on there.
Bill Gates Jr. What's the name of Debbie's ex-boyfriend? God damn you, Bill Gates Jr. I think he's asleep. Oh, he's curled up in his little dog bed. I have a dog bed for him.
Oh.
It's kind of cute.
He's got a little bowl cut under the pillow.
He got a little bowl cut, and is like those glasses that they gave to you free if you were poor.
Oh.
Dave was his
the
name.
Cop, that's right.
Thank you. He said it in his sleep. It was really cute.
Dave.
Yeah. So, you got Mike, we got Debbie, we got Dave, and there's actually okay, so Debbie used to date Dave, who is a cop. He's the good cop in town. There are two cops on duty. There's the hard ass and there's the good cop. The hard ass is just throughout the movie like, oh, this is all a joke. People are calling in, telling him they're killer clowns, and he's like, these goddamn pranksters.
These damn cranky anchors.
Yeah, and so, but Dave used to date Debbie. Mike and Debbie, they see the killer clown tent spaceship, and they go to tell the cops, and Dave is listening to them, I guess, one, because he's a good cop, and two, because he used to date Debbie. But as soon as these three get together, shit gets weird, and I don't know what fully happens in this relationship, but I can tell you this. At the end of this movie, Dave, the cop, has his arm around Debbie and kisses her on the head.
Yes.
But there's never any point where Debbie's like, Mike, we're done, I'm with Dave.
Yeah.
Or any point where Debbie says anything indicating to Dave that I'd like to get back together.
Yeah. That kind of ends up sort of strange.
It's real weird. It's like, two guys, a girl, and some killer clowns.
I mean, if that's what you're into.
That old Ryan Reynolds show.
Oh, damn it. That was Ryan Reynolds. Fuck. Yeah, it's, and the plot line of the movie is really basic. Like you said, these killer clowns from outer space come into town, and those three and the Terenzi brothers kind of try to sort of stop them. The clowns are, I like to, one thing about this movie that I really like is the way that the clowns, which we've already kind of mentioned, they have the weird spiral gun and the popcorn gun, but
yeah,
they also have other ways of sort of abducting people, and we're not exactly sure what they abduct them for. It's kind of like a fuel source kind of thing, because they... Yeah,
we see one of them drinking a juice from one of those cotton candy cocoons with the craziest crazy straw that's ever existed.
And that's, again, one of those things that's kind of cool, because they capture the Earthlings in like a cotton candy cocoon. It's really like the Chiodo brothers just sat around and went like, what are elements of a circus and of clowns and stuff that we could adapt into being something deadly.
And how could we make this look interesting? And the cotton candy cocoons are really cool.
It's cool, and they
awesome.
hang them up to dry and stuff like this, and then there's corpses in the middle of them. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, but again, the story goes nowhere. The story is nothing.
It's real simple.
What this is really based around is the kill scenes, right? I mean, we got the puppet kill scene. We have the pizza delivery thing, which is pretty cool, where the smallest clown pops up out of the pizza boxes.
Yeah,
those
are
a
fun
cool
scenes.
gag.
And there's one chick that answers the door wearing lingerie, I guess.
Yeah, and she's like, "Oh, pizza." No one is surprised that they're fucking killer clowns. Everyone's just like, "Oh, hey, what's up?"
Dude, I would be stunned if just a pizza I didn't order showed up at my doorstep. I'd be like, okay, sick, how much do I owe you? I would be stoked if a pizza I didn't order showed up. I wouldn't even be questioning who it was delivered by.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I like that scene where there's that one, I think one of the creepier scenes really in the movie is there's that scene where there's that guy, he's a really pedophile looking guy that walks up to that gazebo where the clown is having the little marionette show.
Yeah.
I like that
he's got
scene. Cool.
a Dave Coulier mullet and he's looking weird.
He's real molesty.
Yeah, and he stops to watch a puppet show in the middle of the night in the middle of a park. Like,
Yeah,
we
that
know this
happens
guy's
sometimes, sure.
he's up for some weird shit. The kill scene that I think is most important for my theory that this is some weird alternate universe, and also kind of indicates to us like how technologically advanced these killer clowns actually are.
Mm-hmm.
Because we forget that despite the fact they look goofy, their tech is out of this world, if you know what I mean. The scene where the clown comes up to a bus stop and he starts doing the shadow puppet.
That shadow puppet scene is rad.
Yeah.
That's one of the coolest parts of the movie.
Yes, and this scene is like, it's one of the coolest parts and has I have so many questions about it. Okay, so he does these, like, you know, it's kind of a Bugs Bunny shadow puppet thing where it starts kind of simple and then it gets to like weird, like he does George Washington crossing the Delaware.
And that guy
so it's
like salutes it and it plays Hail to the Chief and shit.
Yeah, so it's like comical. I guess, you know, now that I think about it, this is the funniest scene other than the old man.
Yeah.
It's like comical. But then this is interesting. When this scene is happening, Dave and Mike have pulled up in the police car and they're just watching it happen. Now, we're seeing all this happen from their perspective, and then the clown at one point turns to the camera.
He breaks that fourth wall, yeah.
Breaks the fourth wall, so the clown knows we're watching him and knows that Mike and Dave are watching him. So it's almost like that episode of Rick and Morty where the giant floating heads show up and there's like, it's like every planet they put into a reality show. It's almost like the killer clowns have this reality show where they come to Earth and just like comically kill Earthlings.
Yeah,
while also like, yeah, and like he's acknowledging a camera, so it's like he knows people are watching.
Yeah.
And then,
which is also kind of Bugs Bunny now that you mention it too.
Yes, exactly. And then like he makes like a Tyrannosaurus Rex shadow puppet that has glowing red eyes, and then uses that to like compress the people at the bus stop down into a tiny I don't know what this tech is, but this is some Doctor Who shit. Like, a shadow compresses these people down into a handful of something, and he puts them into a bag. Like,
yeah.
And then Mike tries to use the police car to ram him, and the clown jumps straight up.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know everything about science, but I do know that if you jump straight up, you come straight back down.
That's what I've always done.
Yeah. Like, there might be some angle one way or the other, but that's not what happens. This clown just jumps straight up and then he's gone.
We're never quite given like a real clear-cut set of rules for what the clowns can and cannot do. It's very luminous. It's very, you never really know.
Yeah, and that's the thing, though, is because that we know that they've traveled from outer space, we know that they're technologically advanced, so we can excuse anything as an element of their technology.
Yeah.
But why does their technology have to have a sense of whimsy about it? Why does it have to have some fun to it? I think it's because they're shooting a show. Like, for them, this is a show. Like, they come down to Crescent Cove, California, and they just like kill all these people for the entertainment of the clowns back home.
You know, that'd be a really cool thing too if they ever did make a sequel, is like really explore the origins of why they decided to look like clowns and stuff. Yeah, because basically, like, even in our society, like the typical image of the clown with his rosy cheeks and you know, baggy clothing and ruffled appearance and stuff, it's actually based on the typical alcoholic hobo kind of look. I mean, that's really what the clown is based on, is the look of a drunk. And it'd be really interesting if, you know, in another movie, if it showed like these aliens on another planet, and they have some kind of high-tech telescope that lets them see Earth, and the first thing that they see is like a hobo, you know?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, this is what they do. Or maybe they see a clown. Shit, maybe they just see a clown through a telescope. They're just trying to be like us is all.
I've connected it all. It all makes sense now.
Boom.
These are Dario Argento's people.
Yeah, this is where he comes from.
Yeah.
I'm trying to blend in. This is how people act. Tell her something about the mysterious.
Mama, you see that killer clown's a pizza. That's a callback from last week. He thinks movies are pizzas.
Oh, we does.
Made that up.
He does. But it's like it'd be interesting to see like why this alien race chose to be clowns. That's one of those things you could elaborate on in a really cool way, I think.
Well, see, that's the thing is, did they choose to be clowns or are they clowns? Like, are the clowns on Earth based off of these killer clown aliens that came and maybe like, somebody saw them and was like, this is what they look like. And everyone was like, that's kind of funny.
Like a chicken egg scenario.
Sorry. I was going to play dumb and pretend I didn't know what a chicken egg scenario was.
I want in the new remake, I want this to be Killer Trumps from outer space, where they look through their space telescope and they just see Trump and they're like, oh, okay, this is what we do.
The fat face one looks like Trump. Like
it would be much less funny and much more sexual assaulty.
Oh yeah. Oh man. Oh, I thought of Grab 'Em by the Pussy and it made me think of the balloon dog. That's actually one of the highlights of this movie.
Yeah, that's good too.
They do like the traditional like balloon animal, but the dog then comes to life and is like a bloodhound, and they use it to like find Mike and Debbie.
Yeah, that's cool. That's the kind of thing that they sat around and went, what do clowns do? How could we utilize that? Mm-hmm. It's creative.
Yeah, but like again, like so much of this just doesn't fit together.
Yeah.
And I think what most likely happened is that you come up with because your effects people, you come up with the effects, the puppeteering, the stuff you want to do, and then you just write a story to make that happen.
Yeah.
And I think you can still do that and make a good story. I mean, you look at Pumpkinhead. I think that probably plays in too. Like Stan Winston wanted to do particular things, but they also made a good story to make it fit together.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, like that's another movie made by a visual effects guy, and but still a decent little story in there. Not a lot of story, but there's something in there.
No. Yeah, it's a good little Southern Gothic sort of tale, and this.
And I'll say too, if we're gonna be comparing, Pumpkinhead to this in terms of movies made by visual effects artists, you and I both know comedy is a lot harder to do than drama. It's so much fucking harder to do.
Yes, it is. It's so much harder to do, and it seems like, I guess you might get like sort of a feedback loop where three brothers sitting around talking. Of course, you have your own references, you have your own things that you think are funny, and so when you're writing this script that you hope is funny, like a lot of it falls flat because nobody gets the reference, like nobody gets what it is you think is funny about it. So a lot of this movie does sort of fall flat, like the jokes aren't really funny. But again, then you have like that scene where Debbie is going to escape one of the killer clowns and she goes to jump out a window and there, 3 or 4 killer clowns at the bottom with one of those like fireman cartoon catch things for people to jump off
the trampoline or net or something down there, don't they?
And it's like, oh, okay, that's funny. Like, it's a funny reference to that.
Yeah, definitely so. Are there any other particular scenes of this movie that you think are really interesting? Like, I think that I like the end scene with like Clownzilla, where you kind of see the main sort of final boss clown that comes down. There's some really cool like forced perspective shots because you kind of get the impression that this mega clown, this kind of Godzilla clown that comes down is like 30 feet tall or something, but they do it all with clever forced perspective scenes that look good, that if they did today it would just be shit ass CGI.
Yeah. That scene's great. And in fact, like, they did make one effort to make some sort of killer clown rule, which is that their nose is their vulnerable spot.
Yeah, that's the weak spot.
Which I think if you're an advanced race of aliens and you know that your nose is your weak spot, maybe you just put something over that.
I would.
I don't know.
I would.
But that like last bit of puppeteering, I guess, I assume that's just a huge sort of puppet. Not huge, but I mean probably large.
Made to look huge.
Yeah, and the forced perspective, that all works really good.
Yeah,
like,
it does.
It's a good sort of almost like it reminded me a little bit of Smaug with Bilbo Baggins.
Totally so, yeah.
Just a little bit. Also, there is one scene I think we absolutely have to talk about, and it's uncomfortable. It's the scene where the little girl at the burger restaurant is almost lured outside by one of the clowns.
That scene is real creepy.
Yeah, and I have some real issues with it, because I mean we haven't talked about John Wayne Gacy, and we won't go into great detail, but there was a clown known for raping children and killing them.
Yeah, that might be a little tip of the hat to that.
Yeah, but it's a really uncomfortable one because it's played the way everything else is played, which is sort of like comical and like haha. But like,
you stop and think about it, and you're like, wait,
where's the comedy in this? Like, the parents are a little inattentive. The girl gets away for a second, almost gets murdered by a clown. Like, it would be more comical if this wasn't a thing that had happened.
Yeah. That.
It might be like they were playing this for genuine horror, in which case that works, but it's hard to have that shift, that real quick just sort of shift from, oh, this is all fun and games, and now like, oh wait, no, like a little girl might get killed by a clown.
Yeah, a little dark.
Yeah.
It's different when it's a bunch of 40-year-olds.
It is. When it's a bunch of 40-year-olds and it seems like we're all having a good time, it's like, yeah, okay, this is just regular old horror movie stuff. But
they're about to die of old age anyway.
Yeah, 40? What are you gonna make it to 42? Jeez. Yuck.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if there's any other standout scenes to me. I think that we've hit a lot of the high points for me about the movie. Is there anything in there for you that's sticking out?
Yeah, the one we only sort of touched on but didn't talk about in depth is the puppet scene with the cop, and that is the one genuinely chilling moment. Yeah, where earlier the John Vernon, the hard ass cop, he says like, you're not gonna make a dummy out of me.
Yeah, foreshadowing his demise.
Actually, and this is interesting. I will say this from a screenwriting standpoint. There's some good payoffs for early foreshadowing in this script. So this script actually like had some good elements to it. But so one of the clowns does make a dummy out of him. Dave shows up and he's looking for the other cop. And one of the clowns is sitting in one of the chairs, and then he pulls up the other cop as a dummy, and he says, "What's the matter, Dave? We only want to kill you."
Yeah, that gets a little bit creepy.
Yeah, it does.
It kind of takes you by surprise a little bit, because the whole rest of the movie really hasn't been by that point.
And that's the thing, though. Again, this is John Vernon. This is because he's a good actor.
Yeah, that too. He sells
it. He's delivering a line in a chilling way. And none of the other actors in this movie are good. Like they're all just people. Like they're just people that I guess the Chiodo brothers maybe knew or knew somebody who knew the Chiodo brothers. Like they're just regular old community college level actors.
Yeah, he really gets to sell it.
Yeah, John Vernon really sells it, and it's great. It's a good scene.
Definitely so. Well, overall, what are you thinking that you would rate this flick if you were to give this kind of a 1 out of 10? What would you say are some of your likes and dislikes overall about this movie?
Likes the makeup and puppeteering effects are amazing.
Yeah.
The overall aesthetic is great. I think I love the choice of color, the use of toys in the spaceship, etc. I love the weird worm at the bottom of a pole that they slide down at one point.
Right.
I love, I love all the little like elements that, and I think the cool thing is that what they were able to do with those little elements is they set up a world without ever having to go into this long exposition of explaining it. Like we understand, like there's so much going on here. And, we maybe even get interested in finding out more. As you said, like, I'd like to know more about where they come from. So that's all great. Dislikes. I'm not even going to say the acting because I've seen horror movies with worse acting that I liked more.
Sure.
I'm not even going to say the acting because it's fine. It works fine. The script is not great. The editing together the Joe Lombardo shit, like it really annoys me. Like they could have just cut all that and maybe lose 4 minutes. I don't know. Anyway, I think that was bad. And but again, overall, it's fine. It's a fine movie. What about you, Ben?
Out of 10, where are you putting that thing?
I think the first time that we talked about this, I said a 3, but actually this time I'm gonna say this is a 4. I'm gonna put it there because I think it really has so much creativity and so much really good work put into it. But if I was judging this as just an aesthetic experience, I might rate it higher. But as a movie, it's about a 4.
I can totally side with you there, man. There's, the stuff that I like about the movie. I mean, the biggest thing is the creativity of all of it. Where, like I said, when I watch this movie through, I can see the Chiodo brothers just sitting around doing a lot of bullshit and drinking beer, eating pizza, and doing a lot of notes and sketches on napkins, talking about shit that clowns would do that would kill people. Balloon animals, cotton candy, popcorn, like all these things that you think of when you think of clowns and the circus and stuff, and they turned it into something scary that would kill people and stuff like this. I really like that kind of thing. I like the idea that they just sat around and went, okay, what we're doing is clowns. What could we do with that? That to me is a lot of fun, and I think a lot of the creativity really pays off there. And I think it's neat too, with this being a movie made by a special effects team. Typically in the horror movie genre, if you're doing special effects, it is meant to be menacing and horrifying and dark and gory and gruesome and yada yada. This is a bunch of special effects guys that got to do something fun. Yeah. And that's so rare to see in this genre of a fun special effect. Typically, special effects are reserved for gore and monsters and so on. But these guys got to do fun stuff with special effects. So you can tell they had a really great time doing this, and that's just not something you get to see very much. It's like hearing like a heavy metal guy play like a really fucking major key country guitar solo or something like that. It's just fun to hear them put their skills to use in a different way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I like that about it a lot. And as I said, I really love the design of the interior of the ship with all like you said, the toys and doohickeys and colors and all the weird negative black space and weird spatial elements. I like that a lot. But that being said, it's like I wouldn't really say that I had a great time watching it. It's just not,
Yeah.
It's not really fun to watch because, like I said, it's not scary enough to be horror. It's not funny enough to be comedy. I just don't know what the purpose of this is. You know?
Yeah.
It either needed somebody else on staff to make it scarier, or somebody on staff to make it funnier.
Yeah. It really, I would say in the end, the purpose is the Chiodo brothers had a lot of fun doing it, and they thought this will be a good movie to show people, to show we can make effects.
Yeah, like I bet you probably like a really good documentary about this movie would be more fun to watch than the movie.
Oh yeah, oh absolutely. I bet that would be such a joy because it's obvious that everybody seemed to be having fun on set.
Sure. And
like,
I love the Killer Klowns song
be.
by the Dickies. I get that stuck in my head like all the fucking time. I really enjoy that.
Yeah. Just two last things I guess I would say. If you want to know more about just the urban legends of killer clowns, there's a really great documentary called Killer Legends. It's also it's made by the same people who made a documentary called Cropsy. I recommend both of them, but Killer Legends has a segment about killer clowns.
Oh damn!
And it goes into like the real life, like where do we get the idea of killer clowns? So that's cool.
Where can you watch that?
And it's on Netflix, and I think it actually is on Hulu too. Not positive on that.
I'll watch that. It sounds cool.
Yeah. And also, the Chiodo brothers have made something kind of recently called Night of the Little Dead.
Oh.
It's like an 11-minute short, and it stars Penn Jillette and Adam Savage.
Oh, shit. What?
Penn of Penn and Teller fame and Adam Savage of Mythbusters fame. So, it's pretty cool, though. It's fun.
That's awesome, man. Huh. I would say I'll definitely check those out. I would say if I was to give this an out of 10 rating, I think I'm with you. I'd probably go a little bit lower, and maybe because I didn't grow up with this movie. I feel like if I would have watched this movie when I was a kid, I would have a little bit of a nostalgia factor going on with it. Mm-hmm. But in terms of just creative process aside, creativity aside, and fun that they had making the movie aside, in terms of like how entertained I was when I watched it, I'd probably go like 3 out of 10. Like I'm in no hurry to watch this again. I didn't rewatch it for this installment. Yeah. I just didn't really feel stoked about it. I don't know. I'm not really into clowns and stuff like that anyway. But like I said, I really appreciate the creativity and the fun space that the makers of this movie got to put themselves in, which is such a rare opportunity for people in the horror movie field to do. So yeah, 3 out of 10 for me, 4 out of 10 for you. Fun to watch, more fun to talk with you about, Steve.
Yeah, I would say that's probably true. It's more fun to just talk about it. Ben, I had heard that BuzzFeed has a quiz.
No, never.
Yeah.
They don't do those.
Yeah. And you sent me one earlier, and the question at the top says, what kind of creepy clown are you?
What kind of creepy clown am I? I don't know. Maybe we find out. Oh man, this is so visual. Here is, I've gotta pick some shoes out.
Oh man. Well, listeners at home, let me go ahead and describe these shoes to you. They're clown shoes. Yeah, they're clown shoes, and they are of various sizes, shapes, and colors.
Typically large.
Ben, do you have a preferred shoe there that you'd like to describe to the folks?
My preferred is the option number 1, which is the yellow and green with red laces and a very wide toe. I enjoy the combination of those two colors. It makes me happy. Green and yellow for your boy Uncle Ben. What are you picking?
Well, Ben, I'm going to go ahead and pick the purple and white in honor of Prince. They also look like clown shoes. I don't know if I need to describe those further.
Well, Steven, how about we pick a place? I guess this is where our evil clown might hang out. We got 6 options here. One is the woods. One is a bedroom.
Okay.
That's a love-making clown. We've also got a circus tent, which looks just like the spaceship in Killer Klowns. We have
Then we have a spaceship.
actual just spaceship. I guess a direct
Right.
call to Killer Clowns. We got a sewer, kind of an it thing, and we also have Sephora. Shit.
Now, why would Sephora be in there, I wonder?
I mean, there's a lot of makeup in there, I guess, right? Is that a makeup place?
That's it. Yeah, it's a makeup place. You're right. Yeah, I thought, like, do clowns hang out at Sephora? But I guess they might.
I'm gonna hang out in the woods. I think because I live in the woods here, and sometimes I just sort of think about if I was out really late at night taking the trash down to the road or taking the dogs out or whatever. If I saw a clown peeking out for me from these woods, I would have a bad feel. I'd have a real bad feel.
And I guess we should mention here that what everybody probably already knows, we are also well aware that last year there were a number of evil clown sightings in the woods.
That did happen.
That did happen. So yeah, the woods is an interesting place. Now, I was going to pick this just so I could use my low kind of Barry White voice, but also I realized it fits with my choice of Prince-like shoes. I want to pick the bedroom.
You going in that bedroom, girl.
We're going into the bed, girl.
Now, this next one's a favorite question of mine. Pick a scary movie. We got some pretty good choices here. We've got motherfucking Scream.
Right.
We've got John Carpenter's The Thing. We have The Ring, not Ringu, but The Ring. We have It Follows, which is awesome, and I want to do on the show sometime.
Yeah.
The Babadook, which is also
amazing.
Great.
Yeah.
And we also have The Blair Witch Project. Now, of those 6, which one are you picking?
Well, Ben, I got to keep with my theme. If I'm dealing with Prince in the bedroom, I got to pick It Follows.
That makes sense, because you down and dirty.
And if you've
like
seen
that.
It Follows, it makes sense. If you don't, you're like, why did he pick It Follows?
Yeah. But if you've seen it, you know. That's a really cool movie. I'm going to go with The Thing. I really love The Thing. The visual effects in that movie are untouchable.
Yeah. Yeah, The Thing, absolutely one of my favorite movies of all time. Pick a spooky song, Ben. Now, I love spooky songs. One of my favorite is Nick Weiger's classic on Comedy Bang Bang, The Monster Fuck.
Monster Fuck?
Yeah, but that's not included here. So, first we have Thriller, which, I mean, I don't care what else is on the list. It's fucking Thriller. Then we have The Monster Mash.
Mm-hmm.
We have the classic, Who You Gonna Call? Ghostbusters.
Also known as I Want a New Drug.
We have Don't Fear the Reaper, which is a great one. I should mention, just listen, because I don't want any conflict of interest. At the age of 12, I did see Blue Oyster Cult in concert for $5. So,
fuck me.
Yeah, so that might change. That might sway things.
Yeah.
We also have This Is Halloween from Nightmare Before Christmas, and one of my favorites from 30 Rock, Werewolf Bar Mitzvah,
which is fucking great.
Written by Donald Glover. I don't know if you knew that. I'm going to go ahead and pick Thriller to stick sort of with my Prince theme, though he and Michael didn't have the best relationship.
I'm going to go with Don't Fear the Reaper by Blue Oyster Cult. It reminds me of the movie Halloween, which is like my fucking favorite.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Now, our next one is Pick a Color, but it's spelled with a U, so let's do this with our pinkies out.
Yeah, pick a British color.
Pick a British color. We have black, we got red, we got purple, we got green, we got blue, and we got gray. Now, Ben, you know where I'm going. I'm going purple.
You're hitting that perp up. I'm going to hit up a little bit of green action. I'm a greensman.
A greensman, they say.
That's me.
Uh-huh.
What scares you the most, Steve? Is it the dark? Is it small spaces? Is it needles? Death? Public speaking, which I assume includes podcasting, and clowns, actually.
Now, when you said needles, you may have heard me go, ugh, and you may have thought that's because Steve hates the fact that he has blood in his body and the fact that you can take it out with a needle.
It's true.
But, in fact, what was going through my head was that's kind of poor taste if I'm sticking with the Prince theme, but I'm still going to have to pick needles.
Oh, it got dark, didn't it?
It did. It got real dark.
Go
ahead.
Of those things, I hate small spaces. I'm like minorly claustrophobic.
Really?
Yeah. Like, I think my brother used to like roll me up in a rug a lot. I didn't like that. It didn't get good to me. So small spaces.
This is interesting because he forced that on you. You don't like it. But when I was little, I used to do this thing where I would lay out a blanket like perfectly flat, and then I would lay down on one end and I would grab it as tight as I could, and then I would roll myself up like a burrito. And I've always liked small spaces. Like I've always liked like crawling under the bed or like going in caves and stuff. Like I've always liked small spaces. So I understand that fear. I get it.
Whenever you read Harry Potter and he was living under the stairs, you're like, what's the problem?
Yeah, I was like, that sounds like a bitch-ass room. Like, that'd be so cool. Like, just imagine. Like, hey, guys, you want to come hang out in a very small space?
Apparently, according to my results, I am a clown lurking at the edge of the woods. So you're the one responsible for all this clown panic. You keep hovering at the edge of the forest, trying to lure adults and children alike to meet their certain doom. Stop doing that. You're freaking everybody out. Go home and take up a hobby, like knitting. Aw.
Now mine says, you got Prince. He ain't no clown.
Fuck.
No. Actually, mine doesn't make any sense to me, considering my Prince theme. It says, you got that awful clown doll from Poltergeist.
Really?
Now, what about that clown doll? What about any of my answers led to that? I wonder.
I'm trying to think of anything about that's Prince-like. I don't know him to play a great groove or complex chords or anything like that.
Yeah. That was a scene that was cut out of Poltergeist, where that clown doll whipped out a sweet-ass guitar and just fucking went to town.
Played a B-flat 13 chord on top of it and stuff.
Hey, you ain't got to tell me. I obviously know that. It does say here, though, in any other house, you'd just be a normal, if slightly creepy doll. Unfortunately, you're in a house built on top of an ancient burial ground, which means you're evil as hell and you attack little children in their beds. Hey, oh my god, I just figured out why I got this. Because I picked Thriller.
Oh.
You attack little children in their beds.
And you picked bedroom.
Yeah.
The children.
Weird. The children. You gotta save the children. That's ignorant. Don't be ignorant.
Well, that's pretty great. Now we know what kind of clowns we fucking are, man.
Hell yeah.
Well, on our next episode of our show, we are going to be covering one of my all-time motherfucking jams. I'm so stoked to talk about this movie and just rewatch it for the millionth fucking time, because I will totally watch this again. Hell, I might even start it as soon as I get off of here.
Yeah.
I love it so much. We're talking about the immortal, the originator, the source of our nightmares and night terrors that we've all experienced our whole lives. Motherfucking Nightmare on Elm Street Part 1.
Yeah. Listen, Ben, I know that nothing's going to change between now and when we record the Nightmare on Elm Street episode. So
sure.
I'm just going to go ahead and say, guys, get ready to hear us talk about how much we love Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, because it's the fucking shit.
It's so good. Hey, highly recommend that you watch the Never Sleep Again, the documentary.
Fuck yeah, it's on Netflix and Shudder right now. You can watch that. It is to say comprehensive is an understatement. It is the most nearly exhausting overview of every single entry in the series, with interviews from the cast and crew of every single movie, talking about the behind-the-scenes process and special effects and storyline writing process and everything of all the movies. It's like 4.5 or 5 hours long.
Yeah, it's 4.5 to 5, and I'll tell you this, it actually flies by.
I've watched it several times. Like, it's one of those, anytime I don't know what I want to watch, I'll just put on some random part of that shit, because I fucking love it.
Yeah, it's so good. So, highly recommend that. Anyway, we'll be talking about Nightmare on Elm Street next week. So
huzzah.
That's awesome.
In the meantime, please go on iTunes and rate and review this podcast. Do me a huge favor on there. Give us a strong rating. And also in your review, don't use none of them potty mouth words. Don't say ass or damn or shit bitch or fuck tits or anything like that. None of that. You got to use G-rated language.
If you want to say ass damn shit dick bitch tits or whatever you just said, please just email that to us at deadandlovelypod@gmail.com or send it to us on Twitter or Instagram at deadlovelypod. I would love to receive that.
Indeed. You guys can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Ben Eller Guitars, all one word. Where can they find you there, Steve Spratling?
You can find me at Steven Spratling. That's Steven with a V, the only way to spell it.
Well, that's fantastic. Well, in the meantime, stay tuned for next week's Nightmare on Elm Street Fun-a-thon episode. You guys have been wonderful. We guys have been dead and lovely. See you guys next week. Thanks for listening. Say goodbye, Steve.
Goodbye, Steve.